Welcome back to State of the Nation. A group of lawmakers of the House of Representatives on Thursday called for the return of Nigeria from the presidential to the parliamentary system of government. The spokesman of the group, Kingsley Chinda, PDP Rivers, and Nicholas Osai, PDP Delta, told journalists at the National Assembly in Abuja that the parliamentary system that was adopted in 1960 is the best economic benefit that happened to Nigeria. Joining me to look at this is Rotimi Adedeji. To my far left is the deputy governorship candidate of Blending Party, ABP, in Kogi State, and also Tunde Kolawole is a legal practitioner. I want to thank you both for joining me on State of the Nation. Let me get your thoughts on this first, Mr. Kolawole, because a lot of people didn't see this coming. And then all of a sudden, in the midst of all the political calculations and intrigues, we're expecting that the national budget will be presented sometimes in Wednesday next week. We also have the issues of amendment of the Constitution, Electoral Act, rather, and then we have this. Would you say that the parliamentary system of governance will help this country in any way?
I don't seriously think so. The reason being that my suspicion is that those lawmakers are thinking about the cost of running this democracy. When you look at the investment that has been put into this democracy since 1999, it's been very, very huge. And the result that we have gotten as a nation really don't tally with what we are putting. So the people who came up with this are probably disillusioned with this cost. But
71 members of the House of Reps will say are disillusioned?
I should think so, because...
But is this not in line with the restructuring agenda, maybe possibly as a subheading?
No, I don't think so. I would rather want to see a situation in which we can collapse the cost of this democracy, because it can actually be collapsed. It's self-inflicted, it's inflated, it's been highly monetized. If the legislators will do their calculations, will do their arithmetic properly and all that, what they probably should be asking for is maybe the collapse of the cost of this democracy, because we had problems with the parliamentary system. That was the reason why we adopted this presidential system. And not that if we never had problem with the parliamentary, I'm sure we shouldn't. And then when you begin to have a little challenge, and then you just throw the whole thing overboard, it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. In the plural society like ours, with about almost 500 tribes, almost everybody wants to be governors, everybody wants to be president, and almost every household wants to be in power, because power has been the most lucrative business that you can ever be. I would want to say that the presidential system of government might still be more suitable for our kind of environment than going back to the parliamentary system. The parliamentary system works in an environment in which there are very, very strong institutions to really back some of these things. And the institution that these legislators are looking at, like the British, didn't just come overnight. The British system has been there for more than 400 years.
Let me get the thoughts. Let me get the thoughts of Mr. Adedeji, because you are the politician, and you are seeing all of this unfold. But in your view, should we support that proposal by these 71 lawmakers to revert to a parliamentary system of governance?
As a politician, I don't think that's the right method or the right move we should be making or asking for at this time. Because going back to the parliamentary system of government is like jettisoning democracy in entirety and picking up socialism or communism, which is not what any country that is forward-thinking should be looking at. For any reasons they might have, which are not, in my opinion, concrete enough.
Well, they say one concrete point that they made is that they will be looking at the economy and then the benefits, the cost of governance, and running a presidential system. They say is too high, and as a result of that, it cannot work for this country. And they also mentioned that economically, the presidential system has not been able to get us out of the doldrums.
Like I was saying, sometime back in the military junta of President Babangida, he offered that every lawmaker should be on a part-time basis. For one reason or the other, we have refused to pick up on such a policy. If we were having a part-time basis legislature, if we were having a revenue mobilization and allocation committee which does not necessarily increase or overbloat the civil service structure based on the expenses they pay to politicians for whatever reason, I don't think we'll be thinking about talking for a... will not actually be thinking about having a call for parliamentary system of government. The democratic system of government, which is based on the presidential system, which we are practicing now, is a problem fundamentally based on a lack of self-desire or self-will of the politicians to bring about that necessary development which we need to help develop our country.
He talks about development, basically. So would you agree in that light that what the Nigerian people actually need is to develop our country? But can we get to a point such that, because we've heard some other commentators say, okay, if we must go through this process, we must first of all have an interim government in place that will see towards a better transition into the parliamentary system or any other system that will be adopted specifically to meet the needs of the Nigerians. Would you support that kind of move?
Oh, I do. I support any move that we need to make to develop this country. I want to say, what are the challenges that we are having today? Why are we not developing? Are there no areas in which we can free resources with which we can plow into development and get a better result? Look at this democracy. The challenges we are having is the ostentatious lives that the politicians are living. Imagine governors having riding a private jet in an environment in which salaries are
He's
not
going to be responding to you, by the way,
Exactly.
because he's running for deputy
I was
governor
also
of Kogi State.
reading in the papers today that a governor who's just been elected about 2 weeks ago has gone to buy a bulletproof limousine jet for 170 million. This is a state that has not been paying salary regularly. You have a National Assembly in which senators are earning 35 million per month and all that. I have not seen, that was not what the Revenue Mobilization Commission recommended. If we were to get all the people who are holding political offices to really play by the rules, stick to what is recommended by law, adhere by the fiscal instruments that our forefathers have put in place and all that, this democracy won't be as expensive as this. Has anybody taught them to kind of start allocating to themselves the kind of security vote that they allocated themselves, which they say they don't want to account for? So these are the areas in which we need to plug. If we plug some of these areas and all that, and we put that into development, for God's sake, this country will be in the skies.
Let's get his views. Since you are running for deputy governor in Kogi State under the All Blending Party ABP, what will you do differently?
Well, I would want to correct that. Deputy governor for Lagos State, not Kogi State.
Oh, my apologies.
Okay, no problem. As a politician, what we actually need right now is a desire to work selflessly. If it's possible, we do not actually need to spend so much money in, like my brother said, the security votes. Security votes is a free-ended expenditure. That's why you could have someone like Ladoja who was under attack continuously by Adedibu to bring the security vote of Oyo State to his residence. He should not have demanded for that. If Ladoja was able on his own to actually say, this and this were what I will do with the money. A man who is not hungry is actually more secure than a man who is hungry. They say a hungry man is an angry man. An angry man would naturally be a security threat, unlike someone who is not hungry, who has the basic things he needs in life at his beck and call.
That's a good place to let it rest. I'm afraid that we're out of time, but I must thank you so much indeed for talking to us. Rotimi Adedeji, Deputy Governorship Candidate, All Blending Party, ABP here in Lagos State, as well as Mr. Taiwo Kolawole, a legal practitioner. Tunde Kolawole, my apologies, also a legal practitioner. Thank you both for talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to you as well for being part of the show. I'm Gimbo Umar. Join us same time next week for a fresh package. Bye for now.